around the clock, 7 days a week, tirelessly. The team has been putting out effort that is unparalleled to anything I've ever seen. So with that said, we have been completely making major progress, some of which some of you already know. We've released all Metal One coins. All coin holders have access to their coins, their wallets, and their various exchange platforms. So we were able to do that about 2 weeks ago. We're very excited. It's a major milestone to release all the tokens. We were able to do that based on our performance and success of the various stages of pilot. And we released those 2 weeks ago. Everyone has their coins. So that is a huge milestone. In addition to that, part of the progress report is we have completely updated the MetaLite wallet. The MetaLite wallet is where most people, probably 99% of the users of Meta One Coin will transact from MetaLite wallet. We created MetaLite wallet due to the feedback we were getting from the market on a simpler platform to use to trade coins. So the MetaLite wallet has been hardened up. We've had a lot of updates that went out a couple of weeks ago as well. It was very nice, and users are using it, and we're seeing lots of activities with that. In addition to that, we have a 5.2 Graphene rollout of the Meta blockchain, which is so profound and prolific. Some of you may not know, but Graphene is one of the most prolific and scalable and the fastest platforms for blockchain technologies. It rivals the Google search algorithm, and some of you may know what that is. So we're very excited about that. 5.2 is coming out. It has amazing functionality to include NFTs, non-fungible tokens. We have liquidity pools, which allows you to trade across many exchanges in one transaction, all favoring yourself. We have escrow functionality. We have line of credit functionality, which means you can borrow against your own coins. A lot of you know about this. We've been speaking about this for some time. The functionality is beautiful, and it's in our blockchain, and we're soon to deploy that in the final production release. So within this functionality, we also have a new aspect of our technological roadmap, and that would be quantum processing. Over the last couple of years, I know a lot of you, including myself, have heard about this illustrious concept of quantum processing, quantum financial platforms, et cetera, et cetera. So we have been doing research for the last 6 months, and we're very excited to release the fact that we will have a quantum-proof token, which means that quantum processing will not be able to hack our tokens. Some of you may know already that quantum processors and quantum computers can hack every password there is in 1 second, first time. And so we have been testing on our blockchain a secured key that is quantum proof. And so we're very excited to release that. A lot of other coins haven't even placed that on the roadmap. We are in testing. So we have a quantum aspect of Meta One Coin. And some of you might notice some blinking lights and some weird shaped objects behind me. Those are a hybrid quantum processor, which is classical and truly entangled quantum processors using a photonic source. It's called a quantum GPU, or quantum processing unit. So it's very advanced. We're running it. It's actually in production right now. We're doing some blockchain nodes. It's called the Meta master node. And so we're doing some testing with some intellectual property we've created. It's a hybrid classical processing element. It's unbelievable. And quantum processing is absolutely amazing. In addition to the updated security token, we have quantum financial algorithms that are unbelievable. So we've made huge progress in our future technology. We've delivered everything we've said we would deliver. A lot of people are asking, we're 98% completed, 99% completed. We are 98%, 99% completed. And today we have a special demonstration for you. We want to complete a major portion of our blockchain and the functionality of our blockchain, and that is to assign an asset to the blockchain in which everyone can see. So we have an asset ready to assign. It'll raise the asset value of the coin. That'll be a demonstration that'll come after this update. So we're extremely excited. To me, this is like someone walking on the moon, where it's never happened before. And we're setting precedents with that today. We're going to sign a $500 million asset, and everyone will watch the coin asset value go up around $5. And today we also, in testing this week, we previously assigned a $500 million asset as well. And so that is already taking place, in which Kevin will demonstrate here in a minute. But other than that, we're right there. We're waiting on the final rollouts of the Graphene blockchain. We should have what we call a fully production system with exits, which means the full liquidity is real time available for all parties. So that is coming imminently soon. All the technology that's the precursor to that is nearly completed. About 1% is left, and that's the final testing and rollouts of the Graphene blockchain upgrade and the final, the final testing. Some of you might have noticed we've made massive improvements to our exchange, our tracking abilities. Our order books are more in sync. That was a big question that we were having. And then finally, we have universal law updates. A lot of you, might ask yourself, why do we have universal law, and what does that mean with my coin, Metal One coin? What are you talking about? And so some of you, this is a real quick update. Universal law is a way in which we can protect our coin holders from these various government agencies that are very different right now. They don't know, if it's a security, if it's a token, if it's a service, whatever. They don't really know. And we're not really happy with what they're doing right now. So we created universal laws to allow us to only do transactions with living humans. So universal law has developed and grown. We've trained around 1,000 people in secured party creditor protocols. We've done the paperwork for close to 1,000 people. Justin would know the exact number. We've done nearly 1,000 trusts. We've done so much work in universal law. We've developed it. It's getting very good. We've updated many more instruments. We're expanding our service offerings in universal law, and these are major updates that have been taking place over the last 6 weeks. So universal law has had a major upgrade. In addition to that, some of you might know we have filed many cases regarding human rights violations from state organizations. So we're wrapping our human rights legal aspects into the universal law, and we're also updating our capabilities with universal law. Due to some of our progress, let's just say, with these cases, we were granted more access, and this access gives us absolutely more capabilities as a fighter for human rights. And by us doing this, we're setting precedents in the entire market, not just for Metal One coin, not just for the coin holders, but the entire crypto market. So we're very excited about our progress with universal law. And, for the update, I think I've covered it. Justin, did I miss anything?
No, that was great.
Okay. Well, then let's go to Kevin, where we're going to do an asset assignment of $500 million. And that is going to be a lot of fun to watch. So Kevin, can you take over?
There you are. You're unmuted, Kevin. Go ahead.
All right. First of all, can everyone see the screen that I'm sharing?
Yes, and we can see your screen.
Okay, so what we are looking at here is the page on MetaExchange that's accessible for MetaExchange that shows the assets that are assigned to the Meta One coin on the Meta blockchain. As you can see here, there's the initial assignment, and then the assignment that Robert mentioned already that we did this week. And we will do another equivalent assignment of $500 million. And so I've got this page already filled in with the the special asset assignment page. This is writes the details of the asset to the blockchain. We'll just go ahead and assign this, and then we'll look at the result on the MetaExchange Asset Explorer page. All right, so we have.
So Kevin, what's the timeline for the smooth allocation on this asset that we're doing today?
Great question. The time of smooth allocation is one of the settings that we set in, and that tells the blockchain how long over how much time do we want to the value of this asset to apply to Meta One coin. And in this case, we're going to use 1 month. So over this $500 million asset being assigned equates to a $5 net asset value that will be smooth allocated over the period of 1 month.
Excellent.
All right. Okay, so that we just did. And then if we go to we might have to do that again.
Demos are always fun.
Yep. All right. So good thing we have some.
And once Kevin publishes this is available on everyone's Exchange link by assets. You can see the assigned assets, so everyone can see this. And let me just speak about the assets real quick. These are there's been a lot of talk about our assets, about different assets we have. People said we didn't have paintings when I have paintings on the wall. I've heard a lot of naysayers or slanderers make various statements about our assets. And we're very proud of these gold assets. They're in ground, they're patented claims, they're in our possession. They're wrapped with an instrument of a surety instrument. These assets are, you can take them to any bank and get around 60-75% loan to value in cash. It's very tight, very proper. These are even published and secured. So these assets, come one, come all. If anyone wants to say anything about these assets, I'd enjoy the conversation. And they're very, very proper. And we are having a auditor audit them, a third party. I know we've been saying that the previous auditor got a little bit of attention from our friends with the SEC. We have a new auditor that is going to audit all the assets, and you'll see their findings on this page. Actually, there'll be a place for the auditor's findings. So our audits are coming through. Our assets are very tight, and so we're very proud of them. And they are about to be on the blockchain. So anyway, sometimes we have fun with this, but this is for
all
the
right,
second
so
$500 million asset. We were able to do that 2 days ago, and it worked out very well.
all right, so we need to I'll need to troubleshoot this just a second. Let's see.
All right. Well, while
Maybe
Kevin's
third time a
doing
charm?
that, yeah, third time's the charm.
All right, give me a minute.
Yeah,
Okay,
of course. While Kevin's doing that, go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, so it's gonna work in a second, but what we're doing is we're assigning an asset, and then in a peer-to-peer blockchain where everyone holds an individualized asset, it's gonna go up in asset value. It's, this is like walking the first images of someone walking on the moon to me. It's very exciting on a blockchain perspective historically, and just a technological aspect. So we're doing something that's very exciting, very cool. It's a very core piece to the stability and security of our blockchain. We're showing the smooth allocation functionality. We have it set to 1 month. That means the 500 million will be applied to Metal One Coin over 1 month's time, or we can do 1 week, 1 hour, things of that nature. So that's the smooth allocation. And I know there's a million questions going on. Well, it's trading at 120. Why am I saying 94 or 95, whatever is that number? So what we're showing you is that's the hard asset value. And then the 120 on the exchange is the trading value or the market value. And so our goal here is to assign assets to backfill or catch up with the market so that we always have what's called a hard stop, meaning that the coin cannot go below a certain amount. So by the time this asset is assigned, the second 500 million, Metal One Coin will be at about $99 and something cents, whatever that number is. It's almost $100 hard stop. It cannot go below $100. And so that's a really amazing feature to include. We are officially and properly gold-backed currency, and we're even different than that. We're an appreciative stable, because when we have a hard stop, we can't lose 50% overnight. And soon we'll be backfilling it. We'll be catching up more with the market when we're in more of a production phase. So these are things that are very paramount with the Metal One Coin blockchain and our white paper are offering. So it's profound, and we're very excited to have it. And I've been demoing software for like 20 years. It's always something funny. I usually have a puppet in one hand so I can do like a puppet show while something is pushed through. So it's very typical. But you'll see it in a minute. It's also on the Explorer site. And everyone will be able to see the next 30 days, the asset value increasing in Meta One coin. All right, Kevin, are you there? Are you having fun yet?
Are you able to hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and see my screen. I think I've got there was some backside utility that needed to be unlocked. Oh, I missed a field
No,
here.
you're right. Yeah, what Kevin is mentioning, this is a highly secured access point to the blockchain, and
There we go.
it's a lot of layers of security. Which okay.
Yeah. So there was one of the security layers that was locked. So I had to unlock that to make sure that this piece worked. And if you see this Asset Explorer page accessible from Meta Exchange, I'll just hit refresh on this. We see the additional asset on there. And over the course of the next month, you'll see this go from 0% to 100%.
Okay, that's great. So the first 25% it goes, and then we do a final approval, and then from that it goes to the balance of 75%. 75% will be the balance of after 25%. So there's an approval process after 25%, and then it goes throughout the entire balance of 75%, equaling 100% over 30 days. I hope that doesn't confuse everybody. But this is online. You can also click on the various links describing these instruments and these gold assets. And you know, in the typical world of underwriting and full openness on your assets and securities, we typically do that. Meaning, I would give you a patent number, a claim number, a warranty deed, you know, things like that. Very instrumental in showing ownership and possession. We're very slightly vague. Some of you might see that when you see these instruments. We're vague for a reason. Some of our assets have been, you know, attacked by these various agencies and states, and we're working through that. But we're just we're not going to give up the claim number and the patent ID publicly at this point. But with our third-party auditor, that will be under fully non-disclosed. We'll have him review the full underwriting of these instruments, and he'll publish his findings. So we're working through that, and we're excited to work through that. But just for the security of the assets and for Meta One Coin, we're not giving up claim numbers and patent numbers in county clerk records of deeds and things of that nature, because that opens up a lot of issues. So just FYI for some of you that are asking those questions. But either way, we're going to get better at auditing, and we'll have third-party audits, and we're looking forward to the third-party audits, because in our estimation, we're very very conservative in the asset values and the way we present these instruments. So anyway, thank you very much, and thank you very much, Kevin. So you can see this on the Explorer page from the exchange, and it'll be cooking off. And you see the asset values right now at 93.89, and that is the asset value or the hard stop, with the market price at like 120, I believe. So these are things that was going on. We're gold backed. We're an appreciative, stable coin. Nothing like this exists. And so anyway, that was an amazing demonstration, Kevin. Thank you, putting you on the spot a little bit. Yeah,
that was awesome. Thank you, Kevin. All right, Robert, I think we have some questions. We're also going to take a few live questions here too. So if you have a question, please go ahead and raise your hand. I'll start with the written questions that I have here. So the first question that I have is actually a great follow-up. With BTC, a fiat worthless crypto, at least in this person's opinion, will it being diminished immensely and possibly die when a gold-backed currency like Meta One goes public?
Well, you know, in my opinion of BTC is we're very appreciative for the awakening of the existence of cryptocurrency in the marketplace, and showing that leadership as one of the first coins. Outside of that, obviously, there's many more advanced coins, and I would say Meta One is definitely one of those coins. So, you know, if they're going to die out or not, I really don't know. You know, my understanding is it's held 41% by very small groups of Asian businessmen. It's not the kind of coin. I mean, I hold BTC. I think we all do, but it's not the coin that we've created. And if it dies out or not, I really don't know. But I would say that we've shown a superior example of a digital asset, Meta One coin.
Awesome. This is a great question. What is a paper wallet designed to do?
Well, a paper wallet is the way in which you can print your public and private keys onto a little piece of paper. We're going old school on disaster recovery here. You know, when you have a paper wallet, you have a paper wallet. Literally, you can type in the keys and regain access to your wallet. So I like to print down paper wallets. Some people like to laminate them, put them in their safes, send it to their mother's house or something. You know, just keep it secure, keep it redundant, so you don't just have one point of failure. But I do like paper wallets. You know, all your computer stuff can fry. Who knows what could happen? But a paper wallet is a great contingency plan, and I recommend all contingency plans in lieu of retaining your access to your wallet, because this is like when we hand you your coins, in which I mentioned earlier, we handed everyone their coins. That's like going to the bank and receiving $10,000 in cash. And if you go home and you lose that cash, you know, the bank doesn't have any liability, let's just say, right? So it's very serious. I really appreciate the paper wallet. I say everyone should print one out and use it, and have many ways to, you know, work through wallet access, so, and security.
Awesome. Thank you, Robert. Next question. Does MetaOne Exchange facilitate hard wallets?
I'm sorry, does MetaOne what? Facilitate?
Does MetaOne Exchange facilitate hard wallets?
Yeah, so we have integrations with two wallets, Trezor and Ledger. And we also, we can't do the final integrations yet. That's kind of the final piece of our production rollout. So yes, absolutely. I recommend hard wallets. Absolutely. And we have integrations with those, and that's part of the final roll. So.
Fantastic. Awesome. The next question here is, could the Meta Bank provide the other half of the liquidity pools and split the profits 50-50 via a smart contract?
Okay. I don't understand the context of this question. Could you, MetaOne provide 50% of liquidity and split? What was that again?
Yeah, I believe this person is speaking about the liquidity pools. So it's a question about the liquidity pools, and asking if Meta Investment Bank is going to provide half of the funding for the liquidity pools and split the profits 50-50 via a smart contract.
Okay. Okay, so let me just break out the liquidity. One aspect of liquidity is market liquidity, right? If you want to sell a MetaOne coin at 120, who's going to buy it? Well, MetaOne Investment Bank will buy it back at 120 or wherever the market is. So yes, MetaOne will be providing liquidity and market making procedures for MetaOne coin. So we would be buying it back. But I don't understand the 50% margins for somebody else. That might be a trading concept. But let me just explain to you what liquidity pools means in the context of our version 5.3 rollout. And liquidity pools is amazing. So there's several liquidity providers, let's say, with every coin transaction. Let's say with MetaOne, there's MetaOne Investment Bank, maybe Binance, maybe Poloniex. So maybe there's 3 liquidity providers. So the liquidity pooling in the blockchain will consolidate all 3 providers of liquidity in real time at the transaction and identify, let's just say we're doing a $50 million transaction. Maybe Meta Investment Bank is doing 40 million of it. Maybe Poloniex does 5 and Bittrex does 5, right? So it'll aggregate all 3 liquidity providers in real time at the transaction, and it will execute that order. So what it does is it expands the liquidity of the MetaOne blockchain in real time. So typically, you know, liquidity is an issue, especially in these emerging market caps such as cryptocurrency. And so by way of us consolidating multiple liquidity providers, we make it seamless, and we also scale the true liquidity of our blockchain in real time, which is, so this is seamless to the client. So and so to answer, you know, that's our liquidity pool functionality. And if there's profit, you know, on the backside right now, let me just explain how the profit works on an arbitrage, meaning if you're trying to sell MetaOne at 120, right? And let's say Meta Investment Bank's buying it at 120. let's say Poloniex is buying at 121, right? It's up $1, right? It will sell to Poloniex, and the seller gets 100% of the differential. So it's got an integrated arbitrage functionality. So I'm sure I know a couple of the guys that are extremely advanced traders got that. But to everyone else that's not a trader every day, traders like myself used to work really hard to do arbitrage transactions and to consolidate liquidity providers. And at the end of the day, it's all wrapped into the blockchain, and you are in favor of the arbitrage real time. The arbitrage would be the $1 above sell price versus, you know, Poloniex versus Metal One Bank in my example. So it's unbelievable to me to have that in the blockchain is absolutely unbelievable. And I hope I explained it well enough, and I hope I answered that question. So
that was a great explanation. Thank you, Robert. The next question I have is, I have BTC and LTC in an account at another exchange, and I'd like to move those to my Meta wallet. Is there a process for doing this, or do I have to sell those coins, send the fiat to my bank, and repurchase on the Meta exchange?
No, we have LTC, and you said BTC. You could directly wire or send those coins to your Meta wallet, and you would then hold those in your Meta wallet. So you can move them from another exchange to the Meta exchange. You can do that today. You can do that by yourself. It's relatively easy. There's send and receive addresses for all of your coins within the Meta exchange, and you would send from, let's say you're at whatever exchange, say you're at my favorite, Coinbase, not really, and you send it to Meta exchange, right? So you do a send and receive. So you'd send, and then the receiving account would be in the Meta exchange, and it's very self-explanatory. And if you're nervous, just send 50 cents or half $1 or something. Send a small one to make sure you have it all right. Don't just try to send your full balance, and that always takes kind of the pressure off, at least for me. Just FYI. But anyway, that's how you do it. It's very simple. We have support. If you have any questions, you can email us, our support lines, and I believe we have many videos showing you how to do this. So either way, for the first time, let's take it slow, do a little bit, and then feel comfortable with the process. And if you have any questions, email us support or watch a couple of our videos. So yes, we can do that all day long. And lots of people have been doing that.
Awesome. Thank you. We've got a question about staking Meta One. What does staking earn in Meta One? They're comparing it to BitShares, and BitShares, it's voting power. So they're asking, what if they staked Meta One, what would be the reward for that?
Right now, we're not offering that functionality, and we're huge fans of BitShares, and if you're to look at some of their past issues, would be, in my opinion, could be based on some staking concepts within their governance. And so we're not offering that right now, but we are offering a lot of other fun things. So
awesome. Thank you very much. Last question here, and then I'll go to some live questions. In the earlier stages on some of the webinars that you hosted, Robert, you mentioned the coin value, not in the too distant future, would potentially be things like $10, $20, even $50,000. Are these goals still the same?
Absolutely, Justin. I like that question. I don't know who asked it, but it's my favorite one so far. So obviously my opinion is very partial and into your own research, but I research these coins all day long. I know lots of the coin originators, developers, founders, whatever you want to call. I know the source of these coins. A lot of these coins on the market that we all look at all day long, and I see what they do. I see what they can do. I see where their strategic plan is going, and I look at them, and then I look at the Meta One coin offering, and without assets. Without even gold-backed assets, based on what I'm seeing in the marketplace and the functionality that we have and the technology that we have, we could be easily a $5,000 to $10,000 coin right now without assets. So when we add assets and we make markets, it's absolutely. And what's the most exciting thing to watch is to watch you know, Litecoin and ETH. Ethereum broke 3,000. I mean, if Ethereum is 3,000 with what it does, and it does beautiful things, and it's a great coin. However, I believe we offer a lot more. And I would also believe if you're to stack features and benefits with these other beautiful coins to Meta One could be in the many thousands to 10,000 range per coin. And I do know what our plan is, and our plans are valid and they're real, meaning we have assets, we have cash, we have the ability to make markets. And that's the difference between a neat coin and a really successful coin. You know, you have to buy back, you have to run, you have to push liquidity in the marketplace. That's what BNB, that's what ETH, that's what all these coins that are successful have done. And knowing what I know, because I my balances, this is obviously my deal. I'm very confident in the market making facilities, and that's the difference between the men and the boys. And if that's a good metaphor, I don't know if it is. It's probably not as binary as I should be, satire included. So I'm thinking, absolutely. And I think we're short. I think we're still being conservative. I know that may sound weird to some people, but we've been doing greater studies, and just the onset of cryptocurrency, everyone's learning from what we're seeing in the marketplace and understanding how the market of all these differential new currencies that are popping up, considering the state was previously the only issuer of currency with these great limitations, and not just circulation, but inflation or interest rates. Is like 2 or 3 guys dictated that. Now anybody that has a valid technology and can make their own market for a period of time can publish. And with this new onset of currencies in the marketplace, think about the new expansion of wealth. Look at all the people that are making money. I mean, I know a lot of people that made zillions on Ethereum, right? I mean, look at what we're publishing into the marketplace. We're creating $1 trillion market caps into the marketplace. And so when you just think really simply on a very, I mean, a historic GDP, if that's even a true indicator, which I believe it isn't. But if you were just to go on a GDP perspective, gross domestic product on the US dollar exclusively, right? And if you then add Bitcoin, Meta, Lite, Ethereum, et cetera, into the volumes of currencies that are now changing hands, and a buy, a sell, a profit, a loss, look at how we've expanded the market caps. I have a formula, and it's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. We have 1000x on the economy, not just on Meta One. Because think about it, if I start a company in a little jurisdiction, a county somewhere, every dollar that I pay out in that county for this business and payroll or general administrative expenses, et cetera, it amplifies that to the economy of that small market 8 times, right? 8 times. So every time a successful coin hits the market and pumps 100 million, a billion, a trillion into the local markets, it amplifies many times, 8 times, 10 times, 12 times, whatever multiplier you feel comfortable with. But do the real math on the expansion of the economy, and we are very a part of that. So $10,000 a coin, absolutely. The moment we publish, and the moment we make a couple more imminent publications and releases of information, 10,000 is definitely achievable, and I would say sooner than you'd think.
Awesome. Thank you, Robert. All right, we're going to do some live questions now. I'm going to go to Rich Mason. Rich, I'm going to unmute you. And you're unmuted. You can go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, Robert. Thanks, and hello to everybody. Thanks for all your great work, Robert and team. My question, Robert, to you is, what is the ETA? I know it's probably a fluctuating date as to when you're actually going to go public. What is your estimation of that? And then my second question is with all the discussions in the cryptocurrency world about XRP as being a gateway to cross-border payments and so forth, how do you see Meta One integrating with that if that indeed is the case? And I'll mute myself, and thank you for everything as well. Thanks.
Well, thank you for coming on your question. The ETA on these things, we're doing the testing on the blockchain rollouts, our final gateways. I'm thinking May. We're into the summer. I mean, into the summer, and we want to launch as much as anybody. We just want to do it right, and we don't want any issues. And we've been making extreme progress in our pilot. We're very excited to release the coins entirely, and we're very excited about a full production launch. It's looking like into the summer timeline. After May, we'll be able to reassess and see if there's anything left in our open items task list. But we're eager to make it so, and I'm thinking into the summer, middle summer timeline, and that's when we really start having fun. And then when you're talking about XRP, that was one of our earlier gateways. I'm very familiar with that utility token, that currency, however you want to define it as. And how Meta One, to me, Meta One is it's an appreciative, it's stable, it does it'll do settlements in every different state, country, jurisdiction. We're also working with, we also are a private bank, and there's lots of international banking and federal regulations, not that we're a party to federal regulations. However, our nodes are considered exchangeable on various banking platforms, especially gold-backed coins. I would say, in my opinion, once we're fully published, I would say we do a better job at payments, multinational payments, because we're a gold-backed stable. The IMF and other banking facilities appreciate gold-backed versus non-gold-backed, and we're appreciative. Our blockchain is the fastest. We can transact, I would say, faster than that token. But I think they're both very good. I think it's a good. They've done a lot of work. They've done a lot of press, and they're standing, and they're doing a good job. But we are fully connected with them, and they're connected with us. So we have made that bridge. I'm not just saying we're the greatest thing in the world. I think we're a great solution. I think they're showing themselves to be a great solution, obviously, as well. And how we work through these times, we do what are called gateways, and so we can exchange back and forth, them to us to them, and that's how we just want to work well with everybody, and as a community, build communities. So I believe it's a great coin. I believe we'll work beautifully with it, and I'm just excited I'm as excited that we have this discussion to talk about it, because I know the originators of that coin. So thank you for that question. I hope I answered it.
Awesome, thank you. All right. We're going to go to Gerald next. I'm going to unmute Gerald. Gerald, go ahead and ask your question. No, I think you're still unmuted, Gerald. You got to go ahead and unmute yourself.
Unmute, right. Yeah.
There we go. Yes.
Okay.
Hey,
thank you, Robert, for everything that you've done for us. I've got two questions. One, how is the bank coming on? And would we be able to put other assets into Meta One Bank, or do we have to buy coins in order to do that? And the other question is us overseas, because I'm not in America, I'm in the Caribbean. Would we be able to access everything from outside internationally, or do we have to be in America to do it?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for your questions. First, regarding the bank, we're Meta Investment Bank, was a sovereign private bank. It's doing beautifully. We're finalizing some legal aspects of the banking platform. We have it fully integrated with the exchange. Everything you see is integrated with our banking platform, so we can receive other assets. And part of the goal of this bank, and part of the issues that the excitement we've had with our friends at these different agencies, is the settlement of fiat to crypto, crypto to fiat. That's been the battleground. That's the line in the sand. So we have several legal settlements that are coming through this month. Not this month, this summer. Upon those completed, then we can have the bank facilities published in a private but a public manner. That is the settlement facility. Until then, we're using other third-party settlements. You can use all of our assets online. The Caribbean is one of my preferred locations to use our assets online, and you can definitely access Meta One Investment Bank and the exchange from the Caribbean or anywhere in the world. So we're looking at, there's some legal settlements that are occurring right now with our good friends, and it's nearly over. But just some of the fun aspects that I get to see, I can't allude to or say because it's active cases. We're having a good time, and they're not, and we're setting precedents, and and it's just an overall good time, and it's nearly completed. So that's regarding the bank facilities. We have actually several other ones that are supporting banks that we have membership in, and we're looking forward to publishing those to the market, to Meta One Coin. And we've always known that facility needed to happen because we need to settle our own in and out, crypto to fiat, fiat to crypto. So very soon that's available. Looking forward to the Caribbean. I'm glad you're there. I wish I was there right now. And thank you so much for your question. And thanks for being on board.
Yeah, thank you, Gerald. All right, we're going to go to Victor next. Victor, I'm going to unmute you. Hello, Victor.
Hello, Justin. Hello, Robert. And
hey, Victor.
Hi. Thank you so much again for having this session today. And thank you also for doing the assignment of the assets. That's very exciting. And I guess some of my question has been answered already by the two previous gentlemen. However, the question that I do have, and I'm sure a lot of people have in mind, would be with regard to when it finally goes live, what functionality can we have in getting access to some of our funds? With the borrowing, like having a loan possibly from Meta One Bank or from some other companies, would be the possibility at that time? And also, how are we, what's new with regard to the, how do you call that? A while back, you were talking about how we have contracts with MasterCard and all this and stuff.
Yes.
With the debit card, and how is that going to be incorporated into this, coin going live? If we can get like one of those cards and start using, accessing our funds that way, or maybe from the bank. Thank you.
Hey, Victor, nice hearing your voice. Great questions. So the card program, we have the card program. We've always had the card program. That's also with the banking facilities for public usage, which is soon to be resolved. We have a MasterCard Visa program. Everything that we have goes in and out of a debit card, and that functionality is within our system, and it will be released as soon as we have this final settlement with various agencies. But absolutely, and so Victor, we're trying to, well, if you look at the launch, and I believe, Victor, you were there at day one, we're looking at having obviously the credit card facilities, the online banking, and everything we've been mentioning, and everything that's in our white paper. In addition to that, we've had this huge expansion of our program. Lots of additional things have been added because we had to, because they're needed, because different things that came up. It's called scope creep in the software design lifecycle. So there's been a massive amount of scope creep. So we've built on so much functionality and features. And some of the first things we did was the online banking facility and the Visa MasterCard program. So those things have been standing there and they're waiting to be allowed to be published. And that's part of a legal proceeding that we've been working through for the last about 2 years, actually. So we're almost completed there. Literally filed the last round of paper 2 weeks ago. We're very excited about that. We see closure very soon, and with the closure would be the publication of these credit cards and online banking facilities. In addition to that, that's a lot right there. If you're looking at how our coin works and how the market will respond to our coin with these facilities in place. But in addition to that, we'll also be able to publish various legal precedent that we've been establishing within a couple states and governments. So with that alone, that's 3 very big announcements that are coming very soon, which would drive the coin prices up, I would say. So I hope I answered your question. Everything's is ready for that, and we're just waiting for that one settlement. So
awesome. Thank you, Robert. All right, going to go to Margaret next. Margaret, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. Margaret, are you there?
I'm unmuting. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Margaret. You can go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for everything, Robert. You're awesome. All of you are awesome, all the support that you give. I'm a sort of a real newbie when it comes to investments and such, and I would love it if there was a Meta One for Dummies book out there. And I went to my financial advisor and asked him if he would help me with cryptocurrency, excuse me, and he said, no, I don't believe in it. And that sort of stopped the conversation there. So can you give any advice as to, I listen to everything that you put out there. I watch the videos, but I feel like I'm kind of a dummy on it.
No, Margaret, you're doing great. And what I do for entertainment sometimes is I go to financial advisors and ask them to place me in some cryptocurrency. That's it's just entertaining because their heads usually spin around a couple of times and they hyperventilate and then they hit their head on the desk and they lift their head back up. It's always fun. But no, they'll never understand cryptocurrency. They don't believe in it. They can't believe in it. They're state licensed financial advisors. They only do state secure, public securities, right? SEC and state and federal. So that's like asking, it's just, it's like being in the dark and the light, you know what I mean? So, but with that said, I've been traveling around a lot and I've been talking to a lot of newbies like yourself and just explaining to them how the difference between the stocks and bonds and cryptocurrencies and the entirety of where we are in this inception of the marketplace and, the wallets and just get comfortable and take it slow and all this basic training. And it's been very exciting. So Margaret, my parents they're older than me, obviously. They're almost 80, let's just say 78, 80 years old. And so I've been talking cryptocurrency for some time. I don't really talk to them about it because they're like financial advisors. They start their head spins. And so anyway, long story short, about a couple of months ago, there's a family estate and there's some money that makes 1% with a municipal bond every year. It's a lovely return on investment, right? 1%. So anyway, I put them on some coins and there's a handful of coins that meet requirements. And anyway, they made 300, 400% and about very, very quick. And so I know how to talk to newbies, people that aren't familiar with it. And we're looking at doing some training. We're also, really what we're doing in Meta One Coin is we're consolidating a lot of the market aspects. And that's how we have appreciation, monthly appreciation. It has a lot of integration points of the market. And so we put a lot of intelligence in Meta One Coin. I know we haven't done 3 times, 4 times yet because we're still getting through the launch, but soon we will. And I'm excited about that. But outside of Meta One Coin, there's lots of training that we can point you towards. But the wallet aspect, I think if you get comfortable with wallets and holding a coin and the basics of that, that would be good. But when you look at cryptocurrency, what I look at is who's a part of the coin, what are their skill sets, what kind of technological platform are they running? And I'm sure these are things way outside of your understanding. Most people aren't. A lot of us are actual computer scientists, and we've been doing this for about 20 years. So just scalability, speed is very important. Liquidity, like true market making facilities. These are things we look in coins, we look in ourselves. And that's what I look for in coins, but there's a lot of training that we can provide there. Margaret, you're probably 55% of our market right now at Meta One Coin. And so we're really working hard to facilitate people in understanding coins, feeling comfortable with coins, because the real money to be made is not in the stock market as you know it. The real money to be made is in cryptocurrency. And I know a lot of people are realizing that. I made almost an 80-year-old man realize that a couple of months ago, and he, not even close. He was like 10 financial advisors all wrapped in one. And so there was a convert right there. So I think there's a lot of training, but we really cater to newbies, and we have a lot of training videos and a lot of educational things. I think your question could facilitate maybe a Zoom on market understandings, wallets, how to transfer, more user-related questions and answers. Margaret, would that help you? Zooms on the basics and more training on the basics, or how to place or migrate your 401k to the cryptocurrency space? Or would that type of training help you?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I
Thank
know
you.
we're working hard to facilitate newbies because really everyone's a newbie. This is brand new. This is like day one. So you're in good hands with us, and we're really catering towards new cryptocurrency people. So
Well, I appreciate that. My faith is in you, so I'm just leaving it sit and waiting for more, more guidance.
Right.
So thank you. Thank you.
well, thank you for your question.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, we're coming to the top of the hour here, so we're going to get wrapped up. We really appreciate everybody's questions. Of course, if you have any other questions, our great client relations team is there anytime. You can email them. Just one last thing I wanted to end with. I've gotten a lot of questions, and we have about universal law and the functionality and uses of a trust. The big question I've gotten is, do you have to be an American to use a trust? And no, you do not. The trust can be used in any place in the world. They're international trusts. That's how we wrote them. And so if you are interested in getting a trust set up, you can simply go to universallaw8.io. There's several different packages there that you can choose from, check out, and then we've built the system to be really basically a self-tutorial. There's a lot of support in there. And then of course, if you need additional support, we've got live folks that are available all the time. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Robert for some closing words.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. Thank you for all your questions and your participation with MetaOne Coin. And I'm thinking from when we started to where we are today, we've made a lot of progress. And just know us by our progress and know us by what we do. And I believe we're showing a good example of who we are and what we do. So I really appreciate everyone for being on this journey. It's an exciting time. And I mean, I'm so excited I could levitate right now, actually, because what we're going to do towards the end of this summer, what we've already accomplished is amazing. And metaphorically, what we've done is we're basically planting an acorn, you know, and we're growing an oak tree, and we're growing a forest of oak trees. It's a beautiful thing in this current barren landscape, and it's a beautiful process. I'm glad everyone's a part of it. And we're super excited that you're on board, but we're going to continue to perform, know us by performance. We're excited about what we've accomplished to date, and we're extremely excited about what we're about to do in the marketplace. So thank you all very much. Thank you for coming on a Sunday afternoon, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. So have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Take care. Blessings.